So, one thing I'm having to relearn how to do is learn again. And what I mean by that is I'm having to relearn my learning style because I'm realizing it is not linear. And when my brain is overloaded, especially, I have to change how I absorb information. So if something I feel is easy, or my brain is less cluttered with things, or it's at a high functioning level, I can just speed through things. I guess that's to part of my ADHD side where I know I'm not alone. I listen to things on 1x, not 1x, on like 1.8, 1.5, 2x speed. If it's just like a bunch of information or someone's just talking and I'm like, you talking too slow. Let's speed that up. But I'm learning when it comes to learning new things. It kind of reminds me of my mother had asked me about some things like with art. Like I had taught myself how to do photography and videography and editing software and things like that. And at the time, it was definitely a special interest. I had dove headfirst into it and wanted to know everything. But I also only really wanted to know what was enough to be functional. I never really dove in to something to know everything. I just wanted to know enough to get my vision across. And so it's like that jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. But when I really want to absorb information that is complicated, like for instance, I'm learning how to do different drawing apps. I finally got a little pen. It's a cheap one. It's not Apple Pen. I wish I could afford Apple Pen. If you want to send me money to afford Apple Pen, I will surely accept that in my Cash App. But anyways, this is a little knockoff. It's Meta Pen, and it's actually pretty good. This one is actually attuned to. I have the iPad Air M2. And not a lot of things work with it. I'm learning. But this one actually does. And you don't have to use Bluetooth. You like tap and see it's on. See a light. And it just automatically goes on the screen. Now, it does have tilt. So if you have it straight on like this, you'll get a thin line. Tilt, it'll be a thicker line. It does have tilt, but it doesn't have pressure sensitivity like the Apple Pencil Pro, which I would love to give. Is actually on sale now, but I can't even afford the sale. But it's okay. That's plenty for now. But anyways, so I'm learning how to use a lot of apps. I do plan on getting Procreate. I don't have that one yet. And so I'm learning that I have to learn these type of complex things in bites. So for example, I was watching, because I plan on getting Procreate, I was watching some basic videos. I had to watch the videos slowly, like at I think it's 0.75 speed, like where the person is talking more slowly. Because people speed through these kind of things, which is great because sometimes that's what's preferred when you know more about the stuff. But since I don't know anything about it, I needed to take it in bites. And I watched the first 5 minutes and I could feel my brain like up. Slow down. So I paused. And my brain is a little overloaded right now. So I need to take things in bites. Like, for example, I do want to learn how to use DAW software to make music. I've always hated it. She asked me about it. I'm like, you have no idea how immensely complex production software is. It's like so many buttons, so many bells and whistles. Like with I had Photoshop at one point. I only learned enough to know how to edit barely. And then when apps became more intricate and more easy, it's like, why can't in my mind, it's like, why can't the software be more easy, like more user-friendly? Like people say, oh, it's user-friendly, but it's not. It is not. It's like so infinitely complex. And it's like, I don't want to use all of this shit. I just want simple shit. And so I'm noticing my brain is more attached to more simple things, simple types of programs. I have a very basic layout and easy. It's like, why can't it be this easy stuff? Just simple. It's an app on here. I'm on a white screen, so it's probably going to go away for a second. It's an app on iPad called ArtSet. You probably can't see it. Anyway, it's called ArtSet. And that app, it's really simple. It has basic, like basic tools. It's like you can see them like paint and watercolor and pencil, and it's like shows you the actual thing. And the types of things are very simple, and it's like, I just want things to look like this. But I'm learning that I really have to take things one bite at a time, one thing at a time. And honestly, if it's too complex, then I just don't have to deal with it. I can find another way to do something. So for example, when it comes to making music, GarageBand is more simple than something like, was it Logic? I remember I used to have, anybody remember Fruity Loops? I'm really feeling old saying that shit. Is Fruity Loops still a thing? Like back when you could download the song. I had bootleg. I'm not even gonna front with you. Before they made it a subscription service, I used to use Fruity Loops, Audacity. Audacity is really just a recording app. I have Cakewalk, and it's so infinitely complicated. But GarageBand, Lola, I know you's not in my room. I think she just ran out of my room, helpful. But GarageBand is way more simple. It's just like, Lola, stay out of my room. Yeah, you. I knew I saw her go in there. But anyway, GarageBand is more simple than Fruity Loops or Cakewalk or Logic. So just starting with something simple and like giving myself the opportunity to really learn instead of just speeding through because I have something that I want to get out. Just taking the time to do that. Another thing is this year I was going to pursue an official diagnosis for autism, but I'm deciding to forego that for now. The reason why is because for my insurance and my network, it's been impossible to find almost, at least I don't know how else to look. It's been pretty much impossible to find doctors and therapists that are not geared towards children. When I had my first evaluation, it was at a place for children. Like it was a type of thing for children. It's really disappointing the lack of information a lot of these people have. They're supposed to be, people who go to school for this, who are certified in this, and I'm realizing I have more information than they do because I've actually taken the time to do research, whereas a lot of times they only have one class in autism and it's based on very generic information, just like you would find on Google, and it's based on children and boys and not women and people with complex brains. And so it's like I would have to the sad part is, it's really frustrating. There are people in my city, I live in Houston, there are people in my city that specify in women and adults, but they're not in network. A lot of them don't even take insurance at all. And so it's like, it's like I get it from their point of view because insurance companies are trash. They don't pay their people. And then they charge us ridiculous amounts of money. It's just crazy. So I would either have to try out multiple doctors to see if there's someone who has enough knowledge to be able to fully diagnose me, or I would have to pay for it myself, which is so sad because I found a lady who was highly recommended and she's not in my network. So it's like the only way I would do it is if I were to either change insurance companies or pay for it out of pocket. But the only way I would really consider going for it is if I needed it for some reason. So example, if I decided to go back to school, which I've thought about going back to school for psychiatry or therapy, really therapy because I don't want to be a doctor, for psychiatry, for therapists for neurodivergent people, which it's like I might do, but it's like I don't feel like I have to be certified to be a coach. You know what I mean? But I just need to do real good research, which I can do. But if I decided to go back for therapists, I would have to get some sort of diagnosis, because one thing I struggle with very, very much is math. I've always struggled with math, but college algebra is something different. Like, I don't know what's the difference is between regular algebra and college algebra. The algebra that I learned in high school ain't college algebra. It's not that. It's something more complex, and it's extremely high paced. And I, believe it or not, I took the class 3 times and had to drop out 3 times because I could not. And here's a kicker. I was not in college algebra. There used to be 3 levels before you get to college algebra. I passed the 2nd level and got to 3rd level, and I could not get past the 3rd level before real college algebra. So that's a problem. So I would have to get some sort of diagnosis or find some school somewhere who can teach people college algebra at a very slow pace. Like, the amount of information they were packing for one semester, I couldn't get past the first semester. Like, it was too much. It was too fast. I didn't understand most of it. Like, for the first few weeks was okay, but once they start getting into all them different types of equations and shit, I would need someone to sit with me. If I took the regular class, I would need someone to sit with me every single day for maybe a few hours to help me understand and that makes me sad. That makes me emotional, because that part of the ego or the mind that's like, but I'm very smart. I'm a smart person. I'm a genius level. And funny enough, that was in my first evaluation. That was one of the main factors why they wouldn't, which is so funny. One of the main factors why they could not give me an official diagnosis is because my intelligence was too high. Like, you scored very high on the cognitive intelligence, like above the average person. So we can't give you this diagnosis because you're too smart. You see, what the fuck so you assume that all autistic people are dumb? That they don't have cognitive intelligence? Like, the insult. This is a fucking insult. I think I was like 5 points below because I think the point system is you had to score 30 to be able to be diagnosed with autism. I think I scored 26. And the main reason why was because my cognitive intelligence was too high. As if autistic people can't be extremely intelligent. Most of the most intelligent people in the world are neurodivergent, autistic people. So it's just like really insulting. It's like based on a reductive system. Like, if you lack this, then that means you can't. Like, if you lack a certain cognitive thing, then that means that you will be closer to being diagnosed. But if you score too high in certain areas, too high in intelligence, then you can't possibly be autistic. And so the guy who gave me the results, he was like, I recommend that, if you don't agree with this, then you should seek a second opinion, seek a psychiatrist who can officially diagnose you without having to give you tests, because it's different ways to be diagnosed. And so it's like, so I'd have to go through that whole, and I think that's a months long process with one person, them getting to know your brain structure. And if you're not with someone who is well versed in this, and not just a general run-of-the-mill psychiatrist, because like I said, I've learned through other doctors who have talked about, who's actually taken the time to learn about this stuff, who's talked about this, and they're like, autism was one class. It was a few hours and that was it. You know, you can, even if you did like the cognitive behavior, it was just one class, one test, that was it. So you have to find someone who is really well versed in this type of stuff. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But if I were to pursue a diagnosis, it would be for something like that, so I can receive accommodations for math. Because straight up, all honesty, regardless of how my ego feels right now, alone, I could not pass college algebra. As much as that hurts to say. I think, honestly, even if I could afford a tutor to sit with me every single day with every single math problem, at the pace that they were going, I still don't think I would be able to, because I didn't even I only got like 2 months in before I was like, oh no, I'm going to fail this class. I got 2 months in. I took those strikes, because it's like, I don't know if they still do the strike system, but it's like you can only drop a class so many times. But I took too many strikes on that one. And I would like to have a class that is cut in half. So all the information they were packing in that semester, cut that class in half and do that one class over maybe 4 semesters or something, maybe 3, I don't know. But the information was too much. It was too fast. I was lost most of the time. So it would have to be a reason like that, which is funny because when it comes to everything else, even in high school, I had all AP classes except for when I got to physics and what was the other one? Chemistry. I tried. Oh God! Shout out to Elvia. I had a friend. She should have been valedictorian. It was stolen from her, but we're not even gonna go there. She was valedictorian material to me. Shout out to her. I hope she's okay. The girl was a fucking genius. Like, literally. She was one of those people who had that photographic memory stuff. Like, when they see something, they can just recall it again. And she was just fucking smart. And if it was not for her helping me through that class, and I had the audacity to take AP geometry. Who do you think you is, girl? Like, but I didn't know. I didn't know that was something that I struggled with that bad. So I had to drop AP chemistry. Physics, I'm dead ass serious. Shout out to Mr. Fox. He was weird, but he passed me because I failed every fucking test. And he knew there were kids like me who they don't got it. Boom, got it. It's all right. So he knew that there are people like me that struggle with physics. He knew that. And he's like, long as you show your work and, he graded based off of how you showed your work. Like if you got one thing right in your work and And I still failed this shit. I still failed pretty much every test. I think I got a C on one test, which is really good. And so he passed me because I had great attendance and I tried. That was literally all, because baby, I think I got a lot of help in certain areas. But anyway, so, that's that on that. But really circling back to the reason for this video, relearning how my brain works, how I learn, and actually attuning myself to that rather than beating myself up about it. When it comes to something that has a ginormous load of information, I have to force myself, to be honest, to take it bit by bit. Stop trying to absorb everything all at one time and get myself overwhelmed, and realizing I absorbed all this information to my brain with no comprehension, still don't know how to use it. So just being kinder to myself, be kinder to yourself as much as possible. Be good to yourself, love yourself. There's so many more thoughts that I have coming up. I can't flip on the screen. I did create something though, and I love it. But I don't know if you're going to even be able to see it. Oh, I can't see it. I call it Little Ghost fucking shit up. He's creepy and he's cute. I have no idea what he's doing, but he's fucking shit up some kind of way. He's being mischievous. Creating little black holes. Oh, shit. Creating little black holes. Fucking shit up. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.